If you've recently written a book and you're getting some traction and now you're starting to get some reviews, you might be wondering, why are you getting some bad reviews or negative reviews? And the thing is that even great and fantastic books still get negative and bad reviews. So in this video, I'd like to explain to you why is it that even these fantastic and great books, or your book, may be getting some bad or negative reviews. Now, as we dig deeper into this reviews and why you're getting the reviews that you are, there's really two main reasons of why you're getting the reviews that you are. And the first reason is expectations. Expectations play a huge role in our review process, or if we're doing the reviews. So for example, if you've heard of a book previously and you just believed it would be phenomenal, and let's just say 5 stars, and I'm basing my concept and content on a 5-star basis for the reviews. So let's just say you thought that this book would be phenomenal and fantastic. It would be a 5 stars and it would blow your socks off. Then you go ahead and you purchase it, or you buy it at a bookstore. You get it home, you start reading through it, and you start going through the concepts. But in fact, the book was just okay. It wasn't bad. So your expectations was a 5, but what you ended up getting was actually a 3 or maybe even a 4. It didn't really blow your socks off, but it was still a pretty good book. But in the end, because your expectations were not aligned with what you got from the book, you may actually review it poorly because your expectations do not align with what you received. So you may actually review it at a 3 or a 2. Now on the flip side can happen. So if, for example, you heard this one book was horrible, you would never buy it, and you said, okay, I'm going to stay away from this book. I'm not even going to waste my time. So you thought that this one book was actually a 1-star book, or even it wouldn't even register on the map. It's a 0-star book. You don't want to pick it up. But then your friend gave it to you. So you didn't in fact purchase it, but your friend gave it to you to read, set it on your desk, and you started skimming through it over time, and you actually found this book to be a 3 or 4 stars. All of a sudden, your expectations were just a 1, but what you got out of it was actually a 3 or 4. Now, what your review would come out to be would actually be a 5. And more than likely, this is how things play out. Because if your expectations are not in alignment with what you ended up getting or receiving, then you end up choosing the other path. So you end up moving even more so. It exemplifies and amplifies your end review and your end mindset of that book. So again, if you're thinking about it and the book would be really bad, but you ended up getting a mid-grade book, you actually think of it much better. But if you actually thought the book would be phenomenal and you just got a so-so book, you actually think of it as worse off than it really is. And this is just part of our human behavior and part of our human nature. So the first thing is those expectations, and that's where expectations play out. Now, the second reason why people may be giving bad reviews or any kind of reviews is think of why people give reviews at all. Sometimes people give reviews just because there's incentives from buying the book and doing a review. But in other ways, if you just talk about human psychology, it's typically because we want to associate or disassociate with something. So you'll often see reviews that are extremely positive or extremely negative. And you'll see a lot less reviews that are more neutral about the book or about the item. And this goes along with any item that you purchase for any kind of review. You'll often see that, hey, there's a lot of positive reviews, or hey, there's a lot of negative reviews. And that's because we as humans want to either associate with something or disassociate with something. If we want to associate with something, we believe that, hey, this is part of us. We believe in this. And this is why things like those freedom of speech or sharing certain photos online, of people saving animals, all of a sudden we start associating with this. We want to associate with that because it gives us a positive feeling or a positive vibe. On the flip side, if we give it a negative review, such as, hey, we didn't like this and we don't agree with it, then we want to disassociate saying that, hey, this is not something that's in alignment with me. I don't agree with it, and it's not part of me. And it's a way to exemplify and exaggerate that feeling through that review. So this is typically why you get the skewed reviews, and you get a lot of positive and a lot of negatives, and a lot less just medium grade or just neutral reviews, because of that human emotional topic. If things are not as emotional and there's nothing exciting about it, if we were just neutral about the book, even though it may be a decent book, then we just wouldn't spend our time providing our knowledge, insight, or our review. So if you're getting bad reviews, if you're getting some negative and positive reviews, you need to look at the bigger picture. Why are those reviews there? And sometimes you do want to take action and maybe make adjustments to your book. But if the positive reviews outweigh the negative reviews, then just remember, you can't please everyone, because somebody's expectations may be different than what you really were hoping for or pushing for in that book. And maybe it's just a miscommunication of what they expected to get out of your book or material. So don't stress about it too much. Look at the bigger picture. Look at why reviews are published, and just the way that human behaviors work. It's really about that association and disassociation, or maybe even incentive that people are posting the book reviews. So I hope you found this video helpful and insightful, and if you did and you want to continue watching more videos like this one, then click one of the thumbnails right below this video and we'll continue learning. And if you want to see more great business training, some in-depth training that I've created, then click this link right up here and enter your name and email address when you get there, and I'll be sure to send you some in-depth training videos when they are released. And don't forget to take a look at some of my in-depth business training video course series at BackstageIncome.com. Thanks for joining me, and remember to do what you love, contribute to others, but most importantly, live life abundantly. I'll see you next time.